Hey guys, Nancy Matz is going to be joining us in a few minutes, and she's going to be doing some live reads from the audience. And this is on your past lives. So if you have one question that you want to ask about your past life, tonight would be the night to do it. We'll see you in about 5 minutes. Grab your popcorn and snacks. Find a comfy spot, take a seat or lie down, and let me transport you to a place of fantasy, ghost stories, ancient legends, odd creatures, alien encounters, and other magical topics. You may even decide to join the conversation. From faraway lands to your own backyard, with a small dash of pixie dust. Turn out the lights and open your minds. The journey is about to begin. Happy Aloha Friday, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Good to be here. I hope you're all glad to be here too, because I am. Let me push my buttons here. Get ahead of myself. There we go. Got all the buttons pushed. My name is Charlotte. I'm going to be your host for the next hour. I'm also the owner of the California Haunts Paranormal Investigation Team, based out of Sacramento, California. We are 45, let me do this here real quick. We are 45 strong up and down the state of California, which means we're in almost every county in the state, and we can help you out if you think you might have a paranormal need. All right. And we also have branches Oregon, Washington, and Nevada, and Hawaii. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, it's Friday. It's Laid Back Friday, and it's our special Friday with Nancy Matz Friday. So she's on. She's going to be on today, and we're going to try and attempt to keep it organized enough where she's going to do some past life readings, which means you get one question and one question only about a past life. You know, it could be, is my health related to my past life? You know, that kind of thing. But keep the question nice and succinct because people are going to be in line to do this. Also, if you remember what happened in the last batch of readings, I'll get the messages on top, and then when Nancy asks you for agreement or response, you're going to show up down at the bottom. So I'm trying to balance both. I'll have things coming at me from the top of the chat and coming up from the bottom of the chat. So you got to be a little patient here, which is how it works. There's no other way to organize this. But anyway, it's going to be an interesting day. I want to thank Facebook. I want to thank everybody that's on Facebook. We hit 1,800 followers today. 1,800. 2 years of work paying off, right? Let's keep it going. Keep on following. If you're just passing through and you happen to come across this show, follow me, because this show does great things, and it's not only about the paranormal, it's about different topics as well. So thank you so much, Facebook, and keep it around and keep it rolling, as they say. Now we just need to get our YouTube numbers up. So if you're watching from YouTube, there's a little ghost in the bottom right-hand corner with a magnifying glass and a Sherlock Holmes hat on. Click on that to subscribe, because we're trying to build YouTube up as well, just like we're over on TikTok. We're trying to build TikTok up. So if you happen to have a TikTok account, or you want to try to go sign up for one, go ahead. All right. Now I'm starting to infiltrate Instagram too, so I'm starting to do more on Instagram as well. So networking, right? So the more you guys support us, the better things are going to be. But I'm going to bring Nancy on because I'm talking too much. And yeah. The only thing I wanted to ask out there, and this is something that, because it is Friday. Fridays are always laid back. You go to work, you're at the office, it's laid back, right? Okay. I'm looking for a Hawaiian shirt that's ghost themed. An Aloha shirt that's ghost themed. And I haven't started Googling yet. I meant to Google and I didn't have a chance today, but I'm going to start Googling and look for it. If anybody can Google and find me a shirt that's Hawaiian themed, that would be cool because I could wear it on Fridays. Right? Okay? All right. That being said, let me bring Nancy in. Hello. No audio. Can't hear you. Let her adjust. No audio from Nancy. But again, like I'm really into looking for an Aloha shirt. Uh-oh, no audio. What's up with that? Let me check my end. She's not on mute. No audio. Can't hear you. Let's see. She must have a setting. Your mic's off or something. Yeah. No audio. Nope. It must be live today. La 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 la. La 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 la. Yeah, no audio. Can't hear you at all. Let me see if it's me. Did I reset something here? Hang on. Nope, it's not me. No, I can't hear you. Yeah, we got a problem. Houston. Let me try something here. Hang on, guys. Bear with us. Let me see if I shut the mic off. I'm going to unmute. Nope. Nancy's got no audio. Nothing. Nothing zilch. Well, that's not good, is it? I could try sign language. Let's see. I'm double checking my settings here. No. Nope. Yep, no audio. Hang on, guys. Just bear with us while we figure this out. I may have to get out of StreamYard and come back in. That's what I'm going to try to do. Let me try to get out of StreamYard. Maybe it's on my end. So I'm just hanging there, guys. I'll be right back, okay? Let me. Oops, put it back. Say something. Nope, can't hear you.
How's that?
Okay.
It was on this screen at the bottom. It says settings.
Got it.
And I went to Skype and changed those, but I hadn't thought of. This is the first time I've had to look at settings at the bottom, so I'm kind of like surprised that I don't know what's changed. Anyway. So good evening, everybody. Friday. This is Relax Friday because this is something I do and it's fun, and Shar and I kind of have fun doing this. And
Yes.
I always have the attitude when I do this, I just receive. I never, if you don't get an answer, it's because I didn't get anything. If a spirit person is not there, then I can't tell you something. So I just sit back and relax and enjoy it. I've had a cup of coffee. Oh, I'm dangerous. My husband cooked us a teriyaki chicken over rice. Oh my gosh. I haven't had that. We don't go out to restaurants, food is so processed there. And it was a real treat
I'm
tonight.
listening. I'm just looking.
Yeah. So anyway, tonight I haven't done this before. Past life reading. When I do a reading for a family or mother, father, kids, whoever I'm talking to, I'll talk to them and all of a sudden I'll see a picture overlay them. And I go, whoa, what is that? And then I'm shown a different lifetime. And sometimes it's what the person does that's important, or I hear a message, they're fulfilling something they've done from a past life. And I go, why would I get that? If I get something, I need to speak it. So sometimes that does happen, but I've never, I do past life regression work. Shire had one. I'm going to do one for Matt, Dead, Sunday Night Dead, so that we'll be able to talk about that. So follow Matt Slozer, Slozer, Paranormal Channel, and then you scroll down his channel is Paranormal, the Paranormal Channel. Go down to Mike Slozer, and then I'll be talking to him. He's had COVID, so he's kind of like been under the weather. But anyway, so many thousands of readings, people call me about the children. And I can describe children before they're born. I can talk about how they're going to look like children that are born. I can talk about what they're going to look like adults. Very visual. I can talk about aptitudes, and that's fun. And how they'll be in life if they'll marry. I've already seen who my son's two daughters will marry. And my son and I looked like the Indian side of the family, very dark black eyes and dark hair. And he married a blonde. Both his girls are blonde. And one day I was like talking to him, and I saw both girls are blonde. So sometimes it's hard to tell who I'm talking to. Marrying a strawberry blonde man. Now they're only 14 and 16. So I find this amazing ability. It's so satisfying. So I take it the next step. Spirit people, ghosties all around us, if there's any. We have travelers with us. Yes, I've been possessed. Someone's thinking about, have I ever been possessed? Not with not with a mentally ill spirit or one who is desperate because they want back in the body.
Right.
But transfigurations is when a spirit has stepped into me. And I kind of like my own flesh. I really don't want someone to share it with me. And when they do step in, also I'm frozen. Because imagine my spirit, which is like gangbusters all the time. Imagine someone else sharing my flesh with me. It's very tight and almost can't move. And Cindy and Bob of Southern California. They were entertainment peoples. Early '90s, we went down there, and she had a Hispanic friend that just became a widow, and we were visiting in this woman's business, this Hispanic friend. And so we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, both women start crying. And I was sitting there real still. I wasn't even, I was just talking, how you doing? Because a man showed up, and I'm 5'5", average build, just average. But this was a big man, like, roar. And so his head was this big on me, and he was dark skinned and dark eyes, and his eyes were moving separate from mine, like this. Can you imagine? I was doing entertain a group of people, Marlene and Kathleen in Fair Oaks, California. They own the Angel Shop in Folsom. And we were doing a group, and two people tried to step into me. One was successful. The second one was an old man. I went, oh, no, no, no. And one was a little girl. And the parents of Kathy and Marlene recognized her. And she had a white dress of the era that she passed from. And I started talking like a little girl. It was just amazing. Her energy was small, light. We're all really the same, but she chose to be that size and stay that size. So transfigurations, I feel people sometimes, and once in a while when I do the spirit readings for your group, I'll take on the gesture of that individual. And that's them superposing upon me their mannerism and their feelings. It's almost like out of control. I go, oh, blah, blah. One spirit woman came through, I went like this to the one who was receiving the message, and they knew exactly who that was. In fact, Char, you knew who it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so sometimes my gestures are not voluntary. It's just what happens. But I've never really lost me, except that one time with Cindy and Bob, and I don't say the last name. And the Hispanic man, the real big face and the eyes that moved, and said never seen anything like that before. We do with someone like me. At the time that this happened, psychics was very unknown. In fact, I told her, I said, I see blockage in your leg, his leg, take him to the hospital. And she did, and he had a blood clot that was about ready to enter the groin. In essence, I guess I saved his life, but it was always meant to happen because he wasn't meant to die. So sometimes we weave our stories together in the ether so that something doesn't happen because it's not supposed to.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know Karen does channeling, with that. When you see the movie Ghost, it's silly, I know, but Whoopi Goldberg's
I loved her.
when they would get into her body, is that how it feels when something
Yeah,
when something gets in your body
she
like
was
that?
taken over. Yep.
It's kind of icky feeling because it's not your essence in there.
I remember Whoopi sitting in the chair, or was she standing? She was sitting, and that like this. I can't see that on me, but it feels real heavy, like two together, poof, like it was real tight.
Okay.
And when they leave, I feel like this because it's like that. So I don't get weak and tired. I use all my life force to do all these readings, and I get tired. And I had 2 hours of readings today, so I had a good dinner and a cup of coffee, or and a half cup and a half. It jazzed me up just a little bit because it takes energy to do this, and I'm in my mid 70s now, so I don't have the energy I did in 40, 50, 60s. As you age, you just don't recover the same. So, but my love of this has gotten better and
It's
greater.
interesting though to watch different mediums
Okay.
when they do that thing. When they do allow something else to go in like that to take over their body. Because I know Sabrina, when I first met her, it was the funniest thing because I wasn't used to being around mediums. And I remember we were at the Wilden Opera House, and I remember her walking through, and she would change her personality as we were walking through the building. And I kind of looked off to my because we were filming, I kind of looked off to my partner, and I said, "Oh my God, we're here with Sybil," because it was just like there was no warning. It was just like she'd be walking along, and then she'd be somebody else.
I can't address that. I am who I am. They are who they are. I don't like. Now I have to take it back because when that spirit absolutely steps into me, that's total possession. That's the real deal.
Right.
But you have seen me talk to the audience, and I don't know who they are, but I was able to describe the family members.
Yeah.
But my manners and it's so like been taken over.
Mhm.
And people said you. So one time, George Lopez Port Orange Paranormal had me on. Before he brought me on, he asked the audience who people would like to see or hear from. And so they had a whole list of people. And I guess I don't know if you watched the show, that I had 3, 4 people I actually picked up. And one of them was um, Jackie Kennedy. And
Oh,
yeah, right. And I'm not knowing, I don't care who you're going to have
right.
on, because whoever's hearing and comes, oh, they're calling my name, I want to go over there. So she impressed upon me, watch me walk through New York with my dog, but I sounded like her. How did that happen?
Yeah, that's weird when that happens.
Did you hear? Were you on that show? I don't.
Yes, it's
You were?
weird. Yeah, and I've been through it. Like I said, I've been through it. I mean, the only one who sounds like themselves usually is Karen. Her voice,
Mhm.
if it's a male, her voice will get lower. But if
Yeah.
it's a woman, it stays Karen. Sabrina now, her voice inflections and everything changes.
It did happen a few
You know?
times with me. I don't even remember what Jackie Kennedy sounded like, but they knew who I was talking, who
Oh,
I,
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
after we got done, I went, "Oh, you determined ahead of time who I was going to pill through." I was sure glad they showed up.
Well, no, and it's your what happens is your mannerisms change too. You don't realize it's
Everything.
changing, but your like Karen gets hunched over. I was at the Woodland Opera House doing an investigation with Ann Bender, who was on the show. Was it
I
Ann?
don't know if that
No,
is.
it was Sabrina again. I think was it. No, it was Ann Bender was coming down the stairs, and the
Oh,
stairs.
an actress, dead actress.
No, no, no. This is
Oh,
this is one of the psychics, and
okay.
she'd been on this show before, and
Oh,
she was up on the stairs, and I had my video camera. We were filming California Haunts TV show at that point. And she turned around and her voice was real deep, and I hear this, "No photographs, please."
oh my
And I
goodness.
kinda stood there and I thought, "Okay, you don't want your picture taken, I'm good." And then Sabrina goes, "That's not Anne." And I was like, I
Oh
had to
my
stop for a second
goodness.
and think about that. And I got to think, I thought, "Yeah, I've got a video camera. Why would she be telling me no photographs?" So it hit me that it was someone else on the stairwell, because there's this manager type person, or I don't know what the stage managers type person at the Woodland Opera House, who's up on the stairs, and he doesn't like paranormal investigators popping up and down all the time. So you can feel him shove you sometimes and stuff, and he tries to stop you from going
Oh,
upstairs.
I did that with you too. I know where you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah, he's up there. Yeah, he's up
Uh-huh.
there, and yeah, and so she's completely real deep voice, no photographs, and I thought, okay, and then Sabrina
Because
goes,
the
"That's not
camera
her."
would look like what they had in those years.
Right, right. What they would think would be
Yeah.
a
Mhm.
photograph type camera when it was actually a video camera. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to watch different mediums and how they do that, because Karen will say, "Okay, I'm gonna channel her now. I'm gonna go under and do this. Be here for extra energy or whatever." But then, like I said, Sabrina never gave any warning, so you never knew what was gonna happen.
She was just
You know, it was
I
just like walking across the room, and all of a sudden she'd go, "And the cata lilies are working over in the corner," or something stuff like that to tip you off that
you
she
know,
changed.
I think that's, if she does that, that's fine. A lot of people go, "Oh, I'm not letting your spirit touch me. I don't want to be don't do that." I get to a place where I don't like being out of control, and I not dislike. I prefer not. If they're going to talk to me, let them talk here. I want
Right.
my own body, my own flesh. I don't want them to leave any of their energy. I'm just kind of picky that way. But I have noticed, because people have told me, "Oh, you
Mhm.
sound different," or
Yeah.
and then I'm taken over by gestures. You saw that 2 weeks
Mhm.
back or something. Happened a couple times. It's almost like they're so strong when they're giving me a message. I seem to take over. Yet I don't feel possessed by them.
No, but they do that. Your mannerisms change, everything changes. I
Mhm.
remember the Moss Beach Distillery, I got to interview the Blue Lady.
Ooh.
Sabrina was sitting there across the table, across the room, and I said, "Hey, can you tell me what I said? Can you tell me how old you are?" And she
Oh.
turns and she says, "A proper woman doesn't give out her age."
Oh, I love that.
And I said, "Well, I'm a proper woman. I give out my age." So I actually have an interview on our website for like 45 minutes talking to the Blue Lady,
Ooh.
literally talking to the Blue Lady. So I mean, it's
That's
stuff
all.
like that.
As long as I can remember details that sometimes in past life regression, there is a YouTube, and it was a show 10 years back, and some fella who is a professional hypnotherapist is interviewing people, and he must have done dozens, and yet the ones he picked to have on the show came out with the first and last names, the
Hmm.
year they're born, if they can ask who the president was.
Yep.
With you, when you can see for sure, I didn't want to put you on the spot by who's your president. I wasn't even
Right.
sure what country you
Right.
were in.
Right. It was interesting. I mean, I would mind doing one again. To for a later date to see like in the early 1900s where I was at some point.
Oh, you wanna?
Sure. I
Yeah?
could. Yeah, why not?
Then we'll talk about it on the show again?
Continue with the bloody thing. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I'm open. I'm open. Maybe that's where the whole DJ thing comes in somewhere along the line. But yeah, but it's interesting when a psychic channels because they all do it the same. Just like I remember when you did that psychic test thing on TV. Remember that they had you guys on and they were testing you guys for
Oh,
accuracy.
Professor Gary Swartz?
I was so mad about that.
Yeah, this was unfortunate. It was, 2020 or something, or Frontline, and
Yeah.
Professor Gary Swartz is the guru. He's developing what we call the soul phone, which would put me out of business other than, I see people more clearly and we can have conversations, so I give a different perspective. And I don't know that his will be available to the public 5, 10 years maybe. But anyway, Professor Gary Swartz, if you look him up, PhD and MD, Harvard, Princeton, surgeon, physicist. He's got more titles than most people have all in the family. He's oftentimes a guest on Coast to Coast. And he was the one that not discovered, but brought forth the woman who Alison Dubois, and they made a
Hmm.
TV series around her. Now,
Hmm.
clearly, that was fabricated 90% of the
Right. Right.
shows,
Right.
right? And I don't particularly like working for the detectives and police. I have. I came up with startling good information, and I worked on the case for South Lake Tahoe JC or JCO or something, and I was able to describe the house and the street name where they took the child. The trouble is that street was 4 or 5 miles long. Can you imagine which yellow house is it that the police want
Yeah.
me to tell them which house do we bang the door on? I couldn't do it.
It's
Everybody
crazy.
said she was dead, and she
Well,
was
and
not.
the other thing people don't understand, and I teach this in my psychic development class,
Mhm.
which is why when I teach my class, the second level, not the first level, but the second level, we look at different things like clairvoyance and all the different types of psychic stuff because not every psychic reads the same stuff.
That's right.
And when they do these things like on TV and they put you guys through an all in one all inclusive test and you don't pass it in certain times, then they treat you like you're not a real psychic, which is a debunker thing. It's a fault on I hate to say it, it's a fault. It's the fault on the debunker's point because they don't look at it
Yep.
that way because they look at psychics as being able to read it, every way there is, but you guys don't. And and there are psychics that have the multiple talents that can do all that stuff, and then there's psychics that specialize in certain types of readings and stuff.
Yeah. And I'd rather stay away from murders. I've done a few, and I told one group on your show, I think it was findme2.com. I don't
Hmm.
think the gentleman's doing anymore. He was a retired police detective. Anyway, that show on TV, I do have it listed on nancematz.com. I had a link, but he must have been combining websites or got rid of one. But I copied the whole page down. So the first part of it explained how I met him in Tombstone because
Right.
he's out of Tombstone is out of Tucson, and the double blind test is when I walk in the room and there's a petition up, and I'm not to know who the client is. Gary would talk to me, and then whoever shows up in front of me, I just start talking. How about that? I have no information who this person is, man or
Right.
woman, age wise, what culture, and all I'm supposed to do is start talking. And unbeknownst to me, this young man was a college student, and I don't even know that he was one of Professor Gary's classes. And a large, darker woman, big woman, was in front of me. And I noticed she was real round and very dark, and she had whiskers. And she went and put her hand on her hat, and she took it off and put it on my head, and she was bald. She was Tonganese. This young man had been raised in Hawaii
Mm,
by his grandmother who had cancer, and she lost her hair, but she had the whiskers. And this young man, I guess, was, of course, they wouldn't show on TV, right?
mhm,
And playing around. And at the bottom of that link I gave you, where it takes you to everything he said, at the bottom is this young man wrote me a letter. And I don't know if he wrote it to Gary or me, but he wrote it to me, and somehow Gary got a copy of it where he had doubt, and there was no way I would have known these things.
right.
The other client, and this goes on, all kinds of things came through. Another lady who aunt had died. Um, I went through the house. Remember, I don't even know who I'm talking about, right? And the spirit woman said I was, and I died. And she showed me the northeast quadrant of the house. And then as I'm going through the house, it smelled of cancer.
Ooh.
And so I came up with things that Gary never knew anybody could do: smell cancer, or smell disease, rather, and what direction of the house the woman had lived in, under like a patio that's been closed in with the windows going across. And yet, Frontline or 2020 or what it was, didn't get any of that.
Mhm.
And then the woman's aunt shows up to my left against the wall, completely different direction. I go, "Who are you?" And she says, "Look it, I live here, but look at my backyard," and was decorated like she had when she lived on the East Coast. The thing's over, everybody's packed up, and Gary runs out to the camera people, running into the car, trying to get away from us. And he says, it was a woman's aunt, it was somebody else showing up. And I gave a total description what the backyard looked like. Remember, I'm visual. And it was really too bad. And all my family, everybody who said, "Don't watch it, Nancy," they did a terrible job.
Yeah, it
I
was
always
awful.
wondered, there was two cameramen and one interview. I wonder what they thought, because they knew
Mhm,
I couldn't be making this up.
mhm,
There was
mhm.
so much information, just reams and reams and reams of validation from these people. In fact, the woman was such a pick my front line, right?
Mhm.
Right? That she was not a believer. Guess what? She couldn't believe it, especially when I started describing the location of the dead woman in the house. And then the other aunt, and like, I
The other thing too to talk about,
love this stuff. I hope you think I'm not bragging.
I noticed stuff.
I want you to know, the audience, this is absolutely amazing to me every day. I can't believe and you'll hear me say, "Did I say that?" Oh, wow. It's like, if you don't keep your sense about you, if you let it go to your head, but never you hear me say anything like that, as much as I'm just amazed. And my goal is to make you amazed that this is possible. Go ahead, Char.
What I was gonna say, when you talk about the smell of cancer, I noticed that
Ugh,
death and sickness have a certain smell. And I
it
know
does.
when I got real sick with pneumonia, I had this weird smell on me that was
Did you?
real kind of sweet, sickly smell, real odd, sweet smell.
Yeah, I can't
And I
tell you what
noticed
it
when
smells
my
like.
mother passed away, when I was cleaning out her room, that smell was there. It's just a
Mm.
weird, strange smell that people get, and if you haven't smelled it before, you'll recognize it. No matter what, you're gonna recognize it because it's an off smell.
Usually with disease, I don't know about. I mean, the people that I got to think this through. I I did help uh, some people through hospice when I was doing hospice die. Actually, was there, and I don't remember the smell so much, but I think they didn't die of certain conditions.
Mhm,
So I think it's what you have that would also contribute
probably.
to an old. But cancer, in these readings, when it's cancer, I have a tendency to be able to say there's a smell, and then people go, "Oh, yeah, it's right." There
Mhm.
was. You have a
Yeah,
stroke, you don't die
shocked
from
it
smell.
shocked me because when I had pneumonia so bad, I had that smell on my own body, and I hadn't smelled it for years, and then when my mom passed away and I was cleaning out her stuff, I was like, "Oh, I gotta get this smell out of here. I know what this is. This is just
Yeah.
bleh." Okay, guys,
Did
it's
we
that
get any
time.
questions yet?
Yeah, we got questions coming in. So here's the
Sorry,
rule.
everybody. I just wanted everybody in
Yeah,
here because I think there's a 4 or 5 people for my classes that want to be in. Okay.
yes. So here's the ground rules tonight. If she's read you before, we're gonna read you tonight, but once you're read tonight, it'll be what did we decide? Every 2 weeks before they get another reading? Yeah.
Yeah. Every
So
2 times.
every 2 times, yeah. So this will be it for a couple times, and then we'll have it, and then you can get another reading. Okay?
And unfortunately, if there's a lot, the ones who have had a reading like last time and the time before will probably have to skip over you because one person gets all the time, everybody will notice. So
So it looks
so
like we
let's have
got. It looks like it's going to be okay tonight so far. As far as other people coming in. So for Mo and Emily, we will get to you. I'm going to start at the top. The way this works with StreamYard is all the original messages come in at the top, and then everybody's responses start coming at the bottom. So as I start at the top, I'll be going down the line on these things. Okay. So
yeah.
here we go, and let's see. Jen. And I'm going to use first names, so I don't get yelled at again.
Yeah, no last names. If possible, gives us a state. We had a Canadian and an English person come in. I'd love to know where people are from. It doesn't matter the
Okay.
reading, it's just fun.
Jen is from California, and she
Okay.
wants to know if she was happy in her past life.
Ooh. That's relative. That's pretty relative. You were a man, and I see you as tall, bigger, and darker. You had a wife and 2 children. You were a hardworking person. It makes me think that you worked coal mines or coal mine country because you show me being dirty. You hold your hands up like this. Um, I don't look at that life, but I feel like the satisfaction. You were married to a small built woman, possibly reddish brown hair, and you loved her to death, but your life was hard. I don't know how that applies to you in this lifetime. Be curious to know what part of the country you're from.
Okay. All right, Emily. Now, what we're doing is this is for a past life reading, so it's one question. So if you can think of a question, we'll be glad to read for you. So go ahead and do that, and we'll get back to you. Next. Mo, what is a lesson I need to learn from my past life?
That's a curious question.
And
You show me being a little girl that lost her life early. And then I see you as an older man who had money. The little girl was pretty, like there was a pretty dress on her. And usually when I see something like that, they could afford it. I feel like it was 3 to 5 years old. And so life was, um, the expectations of life were gone. So the older man was tall and thin. It feels like an earlier time frame, like the 1700s. And this gentleman kind of reminds me of Scrooge from, what's that one where the spirits come and visit him at Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? The Scrooge show, Christmas,
Yeah, Christmas
where
Carol.
he's skinny and it's dark and cold, but he had money.
Okay.
That confuses me, only because I don't know why two different lives. The little girl was more recent, turn of the century look, um, leather shoes with buttons on them,
Okay.
and I also don't know if we have much free will. And the ones who pass away, are they? Uh, Maybe he had a lot of money but didn't appreciate love, and so he became as a little girl to get love from the parents, but yet he had a short life and he experienced that. I'd really be curious to know what Mo feels of that. Seems to be around money and love.
Okay.
So if you can write a note, please get back to me. And the one for Jen in California too. These are really different, and I'm surprised it came so fast. Um, there's a spirit man that's coming through, 6 foot tall, died of a disease. Not this man looks like Char's father, but I don't think it is. He had bony here, whiskers. Um, he was private, quiet, and he says he hid money throughout the house when he died. Who had found money in this man's possessions? Mm. And
My
is that,
uncle was a money hider.
oh, it is for you. It wasn't your dad. Did I describe him?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he used to hide. He used to put it in cans in the backyard. He'd hide it in. He used to work for one of the bakeries, and he had a bunch of fruit cakes in his freezer, and they found money in these fruit cakes. And
Oh no, it's for you. What's his name?
Nick.
Well, Mr. Nick, he's right here in front of my face. I'm asking him to go over to you. He's kind of like he's actually over here,
Yeah,
and he had a bad breath. Ugh.
don't know about that, but yeah.
I'm getting the sense of So was he a cigar smoker, a cigarette smoker, or something?
Cigarette smoker.
Oh, no wonder. Ugh.
But
Sorry,
yeah,
everybody who
he
still
used to
smokes.
stash money everywhere. That's kind of funny. All right.
Hi.
So
Is this
Jerry
your
said,
father's brother?
my mom's brother.
Reminds me a little of your dad, but I knew it wasn't your dad.
Yeah, my mom's
Oh,
brother.
that's funny. Okay, Nick. Uncle Nick?
Yeah,
Is that?
yeah.
He's still got energy. I want him to go over to your house. He's kind of like,
He likes the ladies.
I only get, I'm too old to be forward with. Go away.
Jerry from California. What past life made the most impact on my life today?
Is Jerry spelt like a man?
Jeri.
So it's a female?
Female.
Um, uh, you know what? I'm kind of getting lost on these. This makes no sense to me. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're closer to me or a young person. They want me to see a race car or the feeling of going really fast. And I have a feeling this person lived fast. That this was, I don't know how that applies to you. I don't know if it was a car accident or they drove race cars. Um,
Hmm.
I'd be curious to know if you were born in the 50s. Write a note to me, 50s and later. It
Okay.
makes me think I'm looking at a brown bubbled front, dark car with bigger wheels on either side. Maybe that's even the 30s. And I'm being shown that going too fast. And I don't know why that would be for you. Do you not know how to slow down? Are you like type A personality like me? Or in this lifetime, are you really slowed down? Because in that last time, you were teaching yourself how to be less this time. So sometimes it's a mirror. But the car I'm looking at, which you need to look up, is a long cylinder with a round front to it. You can see
Hmm.
my eyes. I'm looking at it, and the
Hmm.
wheels are real big on either side. I saw this thing on the Facebook or somewhere. I love the jokes. And it was a car parked in front of a sign that says, "This town has no police." And we you have to do an honor system. No, speed limit is 30 miles an hour.
Hmm.
I drive 30 miles just to get up to the stop sign in the corner. You know, it was great, but that car was really old. I mean, it was like the 30s. But this car is definitely. Are they writing notes and just
I
telling me
guess
why?
so.
Huh?
Okay, Christina, I see your message, and yeah, because we didn't do reading last week because of my past life regression. But if you have a question that you want to ask pertaining to a past life, do that, and I'll do it. I'm going down the line, so go ahead and do that. Okay.
And these other people get back to what state and Jerry Jeri. I'd be real curious. Why am I picking up stuff like this?
Okay.
I don't.
Here's your question. Okay, we're good. Okay, I see it, Christina. I see your question. Okay, so here we go. So, wow, see that happens when I flip down, everything goes crazy. Okay, let's see. We did that. Okay. Oh, there we are. Okay. Now I found it. There, this like okay. Okay, here's the other Nancy.
Nancy.
In your spirit and ghost class, you mentioned that I had a horn of plenty filled with fruits of past lives and some affecting me in this life, pulling me down. Can you tell me one affecting me most?
Mm, I'd better tell the audience what that means. When I do readings, remember it's real fast, boom, boom, because the switches are really easy for me to turn on and off. And so after 32 years every day, you get to where. So when I step into somebody and I want to take a look, if I fall down a well, woo, and it feels forever, I line it to the seashells that you can pick up at the ocean that
Mm-hmm.
have the twirl, 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 twirl. And what that tells me is this one has experienced life thousands of times. Not everybody. I actually, three people, um, two never have been born, and one angel. And
Mm-hmm.
in 32 years, just three. And the angel knew she had been. She wanted to see if I picked it up. And Marge and Fran, mother and daughter, came together, and they had never been born. This was their first time together, and they came together to give each other support, which is they also had a sense. So it wasn't like a surprise. It was just amazing. So with Nancy, I've said this, and I'm being real sensitive to her because I do know her.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have so many lives. It's not like there's an issue, but which one do I pick?
Mm-hmm.
If you stretch it over not just our planet, and I do believe there was civilization before this time. So if you come back and you're with people to give them a support system, I will witness your success in this life. Which one is it? With Nancy, and and the reason I explained this, sometimes we don't forget the past lives, or we are burdened by those past lives interfering in this lifetime. So it's not like one of them is interfering like the race car driver. What does that mean? But she may feel the burden of having lifetime after lifetime after lifetime being heavy against her. So sometimes I need to say to people like this, that doesn't matter. How rich and how pure can you make the life you're in now? Um, I'm seeing a woman that's very large, and if you saw Nancy, she's this big, right? Just oops, this big,
Mm-hmm.
and a very gentle soul. And the woman I'm seeing is what we call the farmer's wife look. Everybody, farmers don't hear that. It's someone who knows how to cook, knows how to sew, knows how to knit, and they're big and robust. And everybody loves those hugs. So it feels like you were in a family of large and cooking and everything, and you're a very large person. Now, if I go there, what was wrong with that life, or why are you showing it to me? Can't tell. I just know if you ever get a past life regression, I would ask,
Mm-hmm.
um, why am I seeing that life? Because the feeling I get is a very satisfying life of abundance, of people around. And I know in this lifetime, even though you've had children, you've had a very quiet life. And so I've heard, I had a young man talk. So mother came and I got had a reading for the boy who was disabled. And he said, I died in the war and I need a rest. So those we call special needs disabled are the
Mm-hmm.
ones who want to do life just for love. And when you are that person, you are given love all the time. They just want to relax. Just love me up from the day I'm born to the day I leave. And they're happy people. And you know why? Because their spirits are pure. Because all they do is receive love. They try. I've never raised a child. I know people who have those children, and some do get problematic. Um, but 99% of them are real happy souls. And that's because the life prior was so turbulent. Maybe in this lifetime, Nancy, you are be able to pursue the things that you want to do. Where in that life, I think it was a short life. I don't know this woman lived to be 60, but you've been given the grace to, and I know you have health issues, but God doesn't want you yet. You're going to be able to do with your life. Maybe you're in this lifetime, you have the time to be able to do what you want to do and not be burdened by what this woman did.
Mm-hmm.
Though she seemed real happy, and I can see these great big arms, very light skin, very Caucasian. Um, ethnicity, maybe German or English, but what country I can't tell you. Okay.
Okay. Jen Martin says that she is a rock hound. Laughing. Thank you, Nancy. Okay.
I
Mo says she's in Manitoba. So that's where
Canada?
she's. Yeah. Okay. Emily has a question. Who was she in a past life?
Now, didn't I just do an Emily?
No, I think we
Oh,
just did Nancy.
well, I wrote down. We didn't do an Emily, so she's one that you said Mo and Emily. We'll get to you.
I told Emily we'll get to her. She'd
Okay,
never.
so that's
Yeah.
hers. So this is the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting such a soft, graceful feeling from Emily. Her spirit shows me grace, Grace. I don't know if you're in a pursuit of knowledge or you already have knowledge, but the sense of grace is upon you. Oh, that gives me goosebumps. Emily, you're going to have to write me a note. Let me know what that means. So when I feel something like this, you were in service last time and you brought that feeling forward. Write me a note. Write a note, Char, as soon as you see something. Because all
Okay.
these are really different. Like, wow. Like,
It's not
and
boring enough, that's for sure, huh?
no, I love this.
Okay. Kelly from Australia
Oh, there's Australia.
would like to know who she was in her past life.
Oh, I know this, Kelly. Hello, Kelly. Is this one that's on the west side? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, long time ago. Kelly, 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 Kelly. Oh, you're showing me a multitude of Kelly. They're showing me two lifetimes. One is a young man who died in a war or battle of some sort, and he's brown haired. He's wearing a dark uniform, and he said he died at 17, a wound to the head. Ugh. And then the other one was kind of odd because I don't know what country these people are from. In every case, he believes that we join a group and we kind of follow the same groups. But yet, I have read people from countries who have lives in different countries. Um, and I really like that idea of going there. They want me to see, and this is kind of odd. Two men, and this man, he did have a wife. She had brown hair. Where's your children? No children, but he drove a locomotive, and he went cross country long stretches, and the engine early, kind of rough looking, um, also a round front, just like this race car, a bubble in the front, kind of a feel. Be curious to look at locomotives at an earlier version, and I can hear toot toot, so it must have been steam run. Don't Are they still steam? I guess so, huh?
There's some that are steam run.
Feels like it's steam run. Versus what? No, it would still be steam coming up the top, huh?
Hmm.
They're showing me he went through mountains. And I know Australia does have mountains, but I don't know what country it is because all of Europe had trains, all America had trains,
Hmm.
Canada had trains. So she'll have to meditate on that and see what she can get. But the man traveled a lot, and the young man at 17 had gone to war. So neither one of them showed me being a house person, like being at home, having a job. Both of them were out for the adventure, even though he got killed early. So my knowing that you have family and dogs and love and hugs all the time kind of makes sense. Like you're not trying to escape or run away. This is your home. And family is important in this lifetime.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, usually I don't get two. This second time tonight I've had two.
Hmm. Marisa from California wants to know if I have a past life where I'm affected by water or something bled into this life causing stomach issues.
Oh, bled? Influence in this lifetime,
Yes.
stomach issues?
Yes.
Yes, I see you stomach and um oh, I don't know what this is. You are a young person. The hair is sandy brown and there's more hair, but it makes me feel of a masculine and it makes me think volumes of something come out of the mouth.
Uh-oh.
Spanish flu, did they throw up like that? Or poisoned? Poisoned. Ooh, foam,
Hmm.
foam.
Could be interesting, yeah.
Ooh, I just got goosebumps on that. You were
You?
murdered in a past life. You look
Wow.
like you're a teenager, and I'm getting throw up of foam. Oh, in the movie, The Sixth Sense, remember the little boy in the tent, the little girl,
Yeah.
and she had that phone. That's the same look I'm getting of being poisoned.
Whoa.
Oh, ooh,
That'll give you nightmares.
look at
Woo!
that goosebumps. I didn't pick up the water, but I picked up the like this. And your
Wow.
face is young looking, possibly light brown, medium to light brown hair, and it's smooth and it's a little longer, almost like a straight page. Um, Fair skin, um, more masculine, but fuzz face. So it put you 12, 13 at the 12-year-old
Wow.
range. So look up, well, let me think, who would be poisoned? celebrity people of importance, wealthy families, princes. Um, the how to find it, nondescript face, very pleasant looking young man. 12. But they use the poison, if you lived in a castle and you're up in line to get king, a lot of people just disappeared. Yeah.
Mhm.
Tell me how that fits with you. Ooh.
Okay, Christina in Sacramento. Was my mother and my son, who I just lost 4 years ago, were they in my past life as opposites? Meaning my son was either my husband or a father, and my mother was my daughter. It kind of felt that way for me, and my mother wondered the same, or was my son my twin flame?
I'm going to agree with you. You have a father figure and a daughter of these two people, and the daughter was very willful, um, as though you are raising your mother feeling. And the son has an old soul, as though he got tired in that life, and then you raised him, and then he said, "Okay, I've had enough. I want out of this body."
Mhm.
And he felt like he was always feel old, like, "I don't want any more life responsibilities. I'm just burdened with life." Do you remember that with him? Do you know her, Shar?
Yes, I do.
You know the son I'm talking about? Was that
Yeah.
how he was?
I'm not sure. I'll let Christina answer that. Yeah.
Okay. He
Okay,
he yeah.
so
And
Nancy L
I'm sorry
wants
about the mother being willful in a past life, but I
to.
can't help it. That's what I got.
So Nancy L says she's from Sacramento. Thank you. The other Nancy. Jerry says yes. I'm 59 years old, so she was born in that time frame that you came up with.
Yep, yep, yep. So that would make sense that someone in 30s or 40s is race car driver. How does cars, vehicles, racing come into her life? I'd be curious, or the act of speed or daredevil or taking risk. Be curious what that means to her.
She does
Or is she
agree with you. She says yes, super slow down in this life. So whatever that means. And Libby V said, or Libby, I'm sorry, Libby for last name. My great grandpa hid money in Prince Albert cans and in dirt walls of the cellar, found decades later. So could have been her too. So
did ask her? I'm asking you out there. I'm telling Char to ask. Did I physically describe him? And did he die with whiskers, stubble?
so let us know, Libby.
And did he have bad breath?
Yes. Hi Sarah, how you doing? Okay. All right. Sarah from Marysville. I'm sorry, I think it's Marysville. I'm confused. Wants to know who she was in a past life.
Ooh, pretty hard, but most, I think 9 out of 10 of my past lives that I flut into and out, I was just a nobody. Excuse me. We're all just people. I wish I could say we're all noble peoples of wealth and prestige. I'd be curious why she thinks that she would be somebody. Um, I need to know what she thinks. Sarah, write that down. Whom do you think you were?
Okay. Emily says military nurse. I don't know about Grace either. I failed trying to join the military.
She failed try. What was that again?
Failed trying to join the military.
But she was a nurse.
She says no. She sees the question mark. Military nurse, and then she says I don't know about Grace either. Well, it could be related from a past life. You just don't know it. That's the issue. It's the fun of past lives.
But if she wanted to be a nurse and serve, I can't go back what it said. She comes to life full of grace. Wow. I wish someone would say that about me. Maybe
There was,
compassion because she wanted to be a nurse and fulfill that.
yeah, maybe back in your life or something.
Well, she said she wanted to be a nurse. So she tried to fulfill that passion with grace because I think of nurses. I've been around nurses a lot in my life, unfortunately, and they're always very attentive and very caring and loving. That's full of grace.
Kelly says, "Thank you so much, Nancy. That makes a lot of sense."
What did I
And
say? Which?
I don't
Oh,
know, whatever you say. Sarah says that there was a case of royal children kidnapped and murdered by poison.
oh, there was. And is
Hmm.
she the one? Is she just giving that, or was she the one that I said threw up?
No, she just came out with that. I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
okay. I
Okay.
think poison was the means to get rid of people. in 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th century. I mean, it was
Yes, it was a great one. Yes. Christina says yes, and she says yes, he was about her son, and she says I taught my mother a lot too. Okay, cool.
so it fits.
Yes. Okay, yeah, we got more details here. Hang on, I'm going down here, guys. Just hang on. Jerry says no, I'm 60. Oh, I'm sorry, Jerry. Jerry slap me down. I'm here. Jerry says no, I'm 62. I was born in 69. Perfect. Okay. Libby
I don't know
says
which one.
that was when you were trying to figure out an age for Jerry. Like
Okay,
back
so
before
look up old time race cars with a rounded cylinder looking with the big wheels on the
right,
side.
that one. Yeah.
And if I could tell you it was a black car and I can see white numbers on the side and look at the driver to see if he finds you. People recognize themselves. It's amazing.
Lily says her grandfather died before, or her great grandfather, or whoever it was, died before she was born. That's okay. That happens. We can
I
just
don't
go by
remember.
what Nancy gets. So I mean, it could be your grandfather, could be my uncle. Who knows? You know.
We got two
Okay.
men who buried. What's the odds of burying money? Well, this man was bigger with medium to a medium bigger bone. And he
Mhm.
died of disease of some sort because he shows me very thin and he had white hair, blonde hair on his body and whiskers all multiple colors. Does that narrow it down?
I didn't see my uncle towards the end, so I don't know. So I don't know. So it could be her
So
uncle.
so let her write another note.
Could be either way. Yeah. Sarah says close enough. Thank you. And then Empress. Who is Empress? Hang on.
I don't recognize that. Maybe a new
Oh,
person.
Terry from Ottawa, Canada. Okay, how about this? Was I really the person I remembered being in a past life in 2015?
I hear a yes. I don't know who were you?
Okay.
I hear a strong feeling. So that tells me a yes. Either you were or you believe you were, it's still a yes. I wish I'd been someone famous. It would be fun to think about.
Oh, me too. Christina says my mother always came to me and listened to my opinions because she was always the type to not look deep into issues in life as I would understand things spiritually. Excuse me. Spiritually. She didn't like people, and I always looked for the good and or try to understand why conflicts arise and have people understand one another. Cool.
I don't know how that applies. I don't remember what I told people. So it's
It's okay. We're just rolling right along here. Let's see. Past lives walking everyone else was 7.
I think there's only been one or two where they couldn't figure out how it felt.
Oh, get this.
Um,
This would be creepy. Sarah
what?
says that she had a man who could see past lives walk into a room when she was 7 and look at her and tell her mother, "You have no idea who she was," but he never told anybody.
Did he say
Wow.
who she was?
Mm-mm. He never told him. He never told her. Wow.
I would love to have her go get a past life regression from somebody just to test that. But yet, when people do that, I feel like they're putting a power trip on you so that you seek them out to get more information, or it's a, you know, it's like a trap, something.
Yeah. Marisa says, thank you. As a child, I would get images of a life in the Middle Ages. I would always freak out when I would see paintings of court jesters. Scared of that.
So is that what I told her? Something? I remember something.
That was a.
Oh, ooh. That was, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Okay. Libby said, when you mentioned that, my memory was triggered on a certain. That was a grandfather thing. So, okay. All right. Could you go in dead on who I was and how silent? Okay. Sarah says she's a wealth of useless information.
She's what?
She says I'm a wealth of useless information.
I love an honest person. I love it.
I love Sarah. Okay. Let's see. That is not enough. Okay, okay. All right. So we got it. We covered everybody. Cool. I'm going to reduce the size down a little bit so I can see Nancy better. There we go. I'm like half on the screen. I'm making faces.
See me?
When I put this thing up like elsewhere, I'm not going to know what faces I was making until I You do it. For all I know, I'm picking my nose or something. Don't know it.
Yeah, you're making faces all night, and I get
Yeah,
coffee, and I'm going like this all the time. It's
I'm
like,
trying to
oh,
be
God, Nancy.
professional.
Yeah, we're trying to be professional. We're
All
laughing.
right, let's go back. Lily has a comment here. Lily has a comment. Let me get it here. Remember, I don't have the right contacts in, guys. I have to blow this stuff up. Um, in 1995, a man saw a pick up my niece and started crying. He said she was the oldest soul he ever saw, 600 years old. Wow, cool.
People can feel it.
Yeah,
I would say 6,000. 600 is not very long.
yeah. Okay, let me go down here. There we go.
My oldest
There
life
we
I
go.
can remember, I had just started doing this. And Ken and Ollie Keck Spirit of Grace Church, where I worked 15 years, we were doing meditating. It was before I realized I had conquered how to do this. So I took my lesson home in the quiet of my bedroom. I was shown quiet, quiet. I said, show, I'd like to see an old life. And I saw myself sitting on a big ridge overlooking like a Grand Canyon, but I was solid, wasn't solid. I was see through and I was blue. And it seemed like there was mist everywhere. And I thought, was that before this time? And the time before,
Mhm.
were we invisibles on this life? And then we had the option to join flesh because I was see through and I was a blue color, light blue. Kind of cool.
Remember,
I think
guys, we're limiting to one question tonight, but we will do this again at some point. So just sit tight with your questions. If you want to read a past life reading with Nancy, you can do that.
oh,
I have links up, on the taglines for the show, so you guys can check that out. I have all her contact information, and I'll show that at the end of the show anyway tonight. But we're doing that. We're having fun Friday nights. We like
I
this.
I do have fun doing this.
I actually found Aloha shirts on Amazon that have ghosts on them. So at some point, if not next
just
Friday,
now, just now
yeah,
someone said
the Friday after, I will have some kind of Aloha shirt with ghosts on it,
that's cool.
so
That's
I can
cool.
relax.
It'll be fun at Halloween because I'll have to dig out my. So when I did cemetery tours with Sacramento Cemetery, I did it for 6 years, 10th and H and 13th Street, I think it is. And I purchased some T-shirts from them, and I also have some of Char's T-shirts when we were producing them. So I have a multitude of ghosty kind of shirts, and it's kind of fun to play with that. So, but I live with this all the time, so it's not really scary to me. It's scary when I feel too many people in here and go, "Oh my God, you're all waiting for me." Like client's going to call up and say, "Okay, I want to talk to," and they all line up ahead of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes my life feels really crowded, and that's an odd feeling. And sometimes they show up in my car. One time, Larry and I took a trip, and I felt someone looking at us, and it wasn't my Volkswagen, it was another car, so it's bigger. And I turned my head, look in the back seat, and there's some guy sitting in the back seat. And I said, Larry. He goes, what? I look back there and I said, there's a guy following behind your seat. And I described him, how I do. I described him. He was full bodied. And, um, and Larry, about a month earlier, had visited his cousin, who subsequently died a couple days later after he visited him. And he said, you just described my cousin in Texas. I had never met the guy, didn't know what he looked like. And Larry just was having a really hard time, eh, you know.
Hmm.
And I forgot his name, the gentleman that passed, but sitting there just enjoying the ride. Like, I'm busy with you guys. Hi. It's like Larry kept saying, is he there? Is he there? And I go, he hasn't moved. He's enjoying the drive with us.
That happened. We were doing an investigation. We were on our way to McCollum Hill for an investigation, and we went a weird back road way by the cemetery. And I had one of our psychics on the team were sitting in the back seat, and I'm driving along, and all of a sudden I hear her go, "Yes, where were you born?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, there's someone in the back seat." And apparently this ghost.
Go ahead. What's being
Apparently
written?
this I'm just trying to read a comment with my bad eyes. Apparently this ghost does this all the time.
I've heard that too.
And so
They
he
just want to
rode with
meet
us.
you.
Yeah, he rode with us to he rode with us up to the hotel. did the investigation with us, got back in the car, rode back, and as we got to the cemetery, he got out. So I mean, this is his thing in his
Yeah.
afterlife. But it was just funny because all of a sudden you hear this little voice go, and where did you live in your life? You know, I'm like
I'll
Larry. I'm
talk
like,
to these people around me.
is it
Right?
still back there in my back seat of my car? You know,
I wish people would believe this is real because these stories are unbelievable. Who's going to believe it?
life with sensitives. That's how it is.
Right?
That's how it is. You know,
I'm,
but I
I'm
mean,
glad I've had 32 years to get used to it. And that's after 24 years of Pacific Bell and things I used to do there.
you
When
know
the
how I am. Like when I was going up to Columbia that time, and all of
was
a
this
sudden
up?
the car was getting hot and cold, and I'm on the phone to you, and I'm like, who the hell's in the car with me? Somebody's in this car, you know. So I call Nancy right away to find out who's in my car.
Did I tell you?
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
yeah, because I knew something was going on. Because I thought maybe there was because I've run into this on the freeway where you're driving, and if you put your windows down, like in the summer, you can find the fatal accidents.
What?
You find fatal accident spots
Ooh.
because you drive through cold spots on the freeway.
I've actually felt that.
Hmm.
If you're
Hmm.
going slow in traffic, hmm
Yeah, you're gonna feel it, and
and
so
you get shivers like
yeah, yeah. On this particular day, I was driving up with another investigator, and like we kept hitting cold spots, and then the cell phones were going were going wackadoodle and everything.
high
And I thought,
electricity
oh my
charges.
God, there had to be some accidents up here. So I call Nancy. Come to find out, there's some guy sitting in the back seat of the van.
Oh no, I
You
did
know,
that.
yeah. So he's
Oh
with
lordy.
us all the way up to the hotel. So it gets fun. It gets fun. These investigations. Today was
Yeah,
fun. Today was a
huh?
fun Friday.
Yeah. I like doing this. We do it more often.
Yes, this is fun. This is fun. And now I'm getting used to how this works. You know, with people like they pop in the top and they pop into the bottom, and then I'm used to it. I'm starting to like number people off in my head when I'm doing this, so I know where everybody's
You
at.
need a bigger screen.
I need a 65-inch screen like the one in my living room. That's what I need. Yeah, I do need a bigger screen. I'm on a 20-inch right now
Yeah.
with this laptop. But I do need a bigger screen. So hopefully we'll get there.
My sister.
1930 race cars. Oh, Jerry Baser. Here we go. Jerry did
Oh,
her
she.
research. Hang on. She did research. We got research. Okay. 1930s race cars, round front of letters on side. Okay.
Did she
Okay.
find it? A black car with
She
round.
looked it up. She did research.
So look up death in the car of driver. Race car driver dies in speed race or something. And if he's dark haired, a little taller and slim, medium to slimmer, that's you.
There you go. There you go.
It must be at least 5'10". Looks like that. He felt young to me. Longer arms and not doesn't look like he's aged, so I would say 30,
Ooh,
35.
did you hear that? Big squeaky sound.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
what that was. That
I,
woke me up. I'm good.
my chair is not squeaking.
It wasn't mine. I mean, that was really like a. That was like
Oh,
a.
there, my chair did squeak just now.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It was more like a sound thing where I got too close to the mic or something weird.
Oh, well,
One of those squeals.
that's why I like the little headset thingy. Yeah.
Who knows? It's radio. Like
Well,
the
you
other
know,
night,
honey,
I was half expecting Nancy to come on talking like helium. I mean, that's what happened the other night. My God, guy
that
came
was
on and
very
was like,
odd. Yeah.
and I'm like, what is that? In fact, as a joke tonight, I was going to go get a balloon and start to show off like that. Inhale some helium and start chatting away at you guys, but decided not to.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it was a fun Friday. And thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Each and every one of you. And each and every one of you out in Facebook land that's following me now, which I'm really excited about. Our numbers finally came in, and boy, 1,800 people. Wow.
I guess I should also mention, duh. I have a Facebook page. If you guys want to go to my business page, I have Nancy Matz. I forgot what it is. I have two of them.
You have author
One has
Nancy Matt.
39. The other one has
Here,
400.
let's look at this one here. We'll fix this. Just stay right there. Don't move. Don't go anywhere. Normally I do this at the end as a courtesy, but we'll do this. We'll do it this way today.
Duh, right?
So there
Oh,
you
that's
go.
not Facebook. Yeah, that's not Facebook.
I'm
The
sorry.
Facebook,
Facebook.
I
I'm
have
sorry.
one that has 36 or 3,900, and the other one has 400 something.
Shows you what
That's
I know.
my business one, and the last one I would post anything to, right?
Right. 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 Right.
But I'm trying to move it over. So before we go, I would mention that I'm working with Shar and Matz because this is new for me also, and I enjoyed doing this with them. But it's also introducing myself because I want to do YouTube also. And if I were to tell you, I have thousands and thousands of lectures, talks, classes, things that I've done, and radio shows. And Boogie and Bugman radio show in Sacramento on there. I cut it down as far as I could, like 10 to 11 minutes or something. Oh, something. And these two young men, I come in and I describe all the dead people this in the off in the booth, and they call grandma. And grandma comes on, she says, "Oh yeah, she described grandma perfectly," and all this and that. And then the show's almost over. And one man had broken up with somebody. And one guy says, "What is this woman in relation to this guy?" And I says, "Oh my gosh, she was your mother in a past life." And they both start laughing. He says, "Oh, that explains so much." And I says, "You finally grew up. You didn't. You grew up. You don't need your mother anymore. Go past this." And they just started laughing because it fit so. Whatever I said fit that relationship. They grew past that mother-son relationship. Here he was dating his mother from a past life.
See?
Ooh. He didn't need her anymore, so he broke up with her. That's how this stuff works. The dynamics of interchanging is amazing.
It is
But I'll
amazing.
be posting that up pretty soon. Or if I have, I've forgotten. But I have thousands and thousands of hours on MP3s and cassettes. And I'll be posting the clips of lots of them for years to come. So it'd be nice to have people interested. And then I have at least 8 more books to write. Yeah, I love doing this.
Well, I mean, with my
Amazing.
past life reading, like I said, I went in trying to confirm something, and it did confirm, what I
What
wanted to confirm, who my relationship was in the past life.
did you find him?
I'm
Did you
just gonna
find
leave
it?
it at that. And I know I
Huh?
just it was a confirmation of something that happened before I had the past life reading done.
Oh, right, right. Okay, I
But it did
remember now.
confirm it. It confirmed it all. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff. Pretty wild stuff.
And remember, and for the audience, she is not a visual person, but I am. So in that, you'll watch me with my eyes closed. I have 100%. I can focus 95%. I mean, it's absolute. And when I do that and I take you back, I can see what you're not seeing. So that's when I said to her, as that man in the past, put your hand to the ground and what are you feeling? Because I was seeing dirt. And so she said dirt. And I went, hmm. And that person has boots on. And she had described that. Of course, I'm not going to say ahead of time, but you'll hear kind of a, oh, it is dirt. So I found that crazy. If I can see pictures, if I can't, then it's emotional regression or emotional dream or emotional wish for a past life. If I can describe a visual, that means I've stepped into that life or that situation. That's crazy.
That is
I
crazy.
love it. I love
Sarah
it.
wants to know how she can get a full reading.
Oh, nancymatz.com. Just look at the top of it. It's just, do you want a reading by me? Go to click, takes you right to the page.
There you
And
have
have fun with this. And, you know, I talk quick, get your answers, and be open because I've had readings where people are afraid to talk to me.
it.
Like,
Mhm.
you're going to tell me the truth, aren't you? I go, heck yes. Be ready. Have fun with this. I can only tell you what your spirit wants you to know. I can't get something out of the air. I'm in your time and that bubble of information. Either I can get it or I can't. It's easy. I have no stress with it, only because I'm going to get an answer or I'm not going to get an answer. I have no control. I'm just a receiver. I just go for the information.
Absolutely.
I don't take it
Absolutely.
personal. Am I getting you all tired out? What's
No,
that?
seriously, I'm just reading what Sarah wrote. That's funny. Meh.
What?
Charlotte knows I'm not scared.
Oh,
Sarah is very outgoing. Very outgoing. Very, very, very outgoing.
well, anything else, and we'll call it a
She
night
teaches
then.
young children. She's got to be brave, I tell you.
Oh, very brave.
Yeah,
Yes.
very brave. Very brave to teach young children. So, anything else you guys want to know? Libby. Let's see. Let's see. I think I'm. Jerry says, I think I'm Speed Adams, died in 1932.
Same
Except
era.
for 1932.
And you saw a visual of him,
I don't know. She looked it up somewhere.
and I said the 30s. So you found the car, you found the accident, you found the death, and you found the man.
Yeah.
Yawa.
Wow.
That happens every so often because I can see the details. And it was that car. Oh my gosh. You ought to send a picture through the email to me. Nancy
Cool.
at nancymatz.com.
Yeah, that is cool.
Let me look at it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you found you.
Sarah
There's a
wants
link.
to know, did you do future readings too? For the future?
99% of my readings are that. I would say 85% people want to know what's going to happen next. Absolutely.
Okay. Jerry says she will send that to you.
Yay! I love it.
Okay,
So,
guys. Well,
oops.
it's that time of the week, and I will be back on Sunday for our usual Sunday read of that Lizzie Borden book. It's getting good now. It's not as confusing and convoluted like it was. It's not the way it was written. It's just because the author wanted to get all the court dates in there and everything, and
Yeah.
what was going on in the court. So it was a very difficult read up to the point where we're at now, because now we're actually going over the days leading up to where she does the deed and stuff. So it's more like
I really feel like she did it.
yeah, it's more like
Yep.
a regular book now. So it's
Mhm.
an easier read for me. And then Monday, our good friend Anna Maria Manalo is going to be back. She has a new book out. And we're actually going to read this book eventually on the Sunday afternoon read. It is about haunted antiques
Ooh.
that she's written this book. So she's going to be on Monday with us, which is
I
kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. 6:30
I had a
p.m.
couple call me from Rockland. They were in an apartment complex, and they were being haunted. And then I didn't know they bought used furniture, and
Oh,
he had purchased a real old bed with wood that had been polished, and it was branches of a tree and trunk of a tree going across, and the mattress, instead of box springs, it was rope,
mm-hmm.
and they put a regular and there was a man laying there, and he said, "This is my bed." And it was haunted. They bought a haunted bed. They
Dang.
didn't know what to do about it, and I told him make a big stink about it and yowl and scream and get him out of there. He doesn't need
Antiques are
that bed anymore.
scary. Antiques
I
are
just go,
scary.
ooh, I love
Like,
used furniture. It has character, and then you think, I wonder if it's haunted.
oh, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't buy used stuff anymore. I learned. Hey, I collected Greek and Roman antiquities for years.
Roman, like what? Roman
Greek
antiquities?
Greek and Roman antiquities
Oh, wow.
for a long
Okay.
time. Because at one time on eBay, the ones that
You want to come see each
that
other?
huh?
Oh, you just turn it. Just Larry. Just say hello. You don't have to be on the camera.
Hello, Larry, Mr. Nancy. Hello, sir.
You want to know what we're doing? I guess I was making a lot of noise.
We have a good time on these shows. But I was collecting because at one time you could get the stuff that wasn't museum quality. It would have like the museums, they don't want something that's been filled in or anything like that if there was a crack, because sometimes the collectors will fill them in, for their collections.
Right.
And so you
I've
could get
seen
that.
that.
You used to be able to get that stuff cheap. So I was starting to collect amphora and all this other stuff. I was getting it fairly cheap. And I started collecting coins, Greek and Roman coins. And I had this
Oh,
psychic come. Yeah, you know the story.
yeah, I know the
I had
story.
a psychic come over to help me do some video editing when we were filming the TV show. And she says, there's a man sitting in your dining room with what looks like golden armor on. He's got a red plume on his head.
Ooh, I don't remember the red plume.
Yeah. And I said, oh my God, it's a centurion. why the hell is he why is he in my house, you know? And she says, "Well, he's upset about the coins." And I said, "What coins?" She says, and then she said, "Well, they took the coins out of his eyes, and the
And then
coins are
you went,
here." So I had to go through all my coins. So she pointed out which coins they were. So then eventually, I made a deal with him that I would bury the coins in my backyard underneath my lemon tree, and that would put him to rest. But it was interesting because he wasn't like the aggressive Roman soldiers you see like in the movies and stuff. He was very cool and into the family. He used to like to sit and watch the family, and he'd watch TV and he'd do all this other stuff. So it was crazy, But yeah. So
well,
that
that's a
stopped
thought. I
me from
wonder what he
buying.
thinks about our world.
I don't know, and that stopped me from buying antiques too. From getting antiquities because I was like, I don't want to have any more like Roman people in my house like that. But he would watch TV like another one of my friends that's psychic would come over and say, "Oh yeah, he's over there on the end of the couch watching TV." Or like if
Don't
we
you
go into
wonder how many era peoples are walking around? Remember the cemetery tours? I would
yeah,
see people 100, 200 years, 150, but
yeah,
not what we call a lot of Indians or.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, and then he would like I know he would watch the car with me and he'd want to know what the car was, so I'd have to figure out how to compare a chariot to the car,
Mm.
and stuff like that. And his
One
favorite
of my
movie was Cleopatra. Very funny, Sarah.
what's
Thank you.
that?
He says his favorite movie was Cleopatra. The funny thing about it was that he was watching all the Easter movies
The what? Eastern?
about the crucifixion and all that.
Oh,
You know how bad they made the Romans look. And when my friend said, "Well, he's sitting there watching this movie," and I went, "Oh my God, I don't want to anger him."
he
He's
probably had nothing to do with it.
up to this point. It's been really a nice relationship. He hasn't, been aggressive. And she says that he was from the century before, so he didn't understand what it was all about.
Oh,
So I
well, that
kind of
makes
lucked
sense
out.
because they were 1,300 years in rule, weren't they?
Yeah. So I thought, because the
Something.
first thing I thought was, oh my God, he's going to see this. The Romans look really bad. He's not going to be very happy by this. But I mean, it worked out, and so I did. I bought a little pine box at Michael's and put the coins in there and buried them at the base because he requested he wanted them at the base of my lemon tree.
Oh, that's very different. Yeah.
So I did that, and he hasn't been back since. But it was creepy to think after she did that, because of course psychics, they come in your house and they go, "Okay, I'm going now." And so every time you look in that dining room, you're thinking, "There's a dude sitting in that chair."
Or we just feel it.
Yeah, watching everything that's going on in the house. So yeah, but I still have the antiquity. A lot of the antiquities here, though. There's some really neat stuff. There's jewelry. For Roman jewelry. I've got Greek coins. I've got amphoras. I've even got glass perfume bottles
Oh, wow.
from that time period.
Well, let's get back. Anybody
Okay,
on the yeah,
we're done.
we're done.
Time to go. It's almost 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I didn't know if we are missing anybody's comments.
No, we got everybody. Everybody's covered. So we did
Okay.
good.
Yep,
So
yep.
now Nancy and I will go to sleep, and we'll figure out a new topic for next week for you guys.
Oh,
We can have
yeah.
some more fun doing this stuff. We got a
Or
nice
send a
week.
note to Shar.
Yeah, we got a nice week coming up of guests on the show, and keep subscribing, you guys. Keep those subscriptions coming, and keep those keep following and stuff. And if you have a TikTok account, come on over and check us out on TikTok. I'm trying to build up a lot of multimedia things. Instagram. I'm working on that stuff, and it never ends for me. It's like
Okay.
one big social media. You're welcome, Jerry. She says goodbye and thank you. All right, Nancy. What's next
All
for you?
right.
You're going to be on Matt's show Sunday?
No, not this
Okay.
weekend.
Not this weekend.
No.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Uh, he's been dealing with some health issues, like, being
Sure.
life and having COVID just really put a wrench into some of the other things he's dealing with. It's nothing that serious. It's just life.
Sure.
So as soon as we get on track, I know I'll be on more. And he wants to do a past life regression like with you, and then we're kind of like following each other. It's kind of fun. Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Kind of
All right,
fun.
sweetie. Been
Okay.
fun.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
good night.
Have a
Kelly,
good
good
evening.
morning.
All right. Hope you feel better, buddy. Okay. Have a good evening. Okay, that was fun, and I want to thank everybody for coming, and thank Nancy for coming, and all that good stuff. Again, I will be back at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, so we can continue reading Lizzie Borden. It's getting real juicy now. There's more detail about how she built up into planning the actual murders. So if you guys are into that sort of thing, it's a good time for that book to be read. Uh, if you like the show, share it with 5 people. If you hated the show, share it with 5 of your enemies. We're always equal opportunity here. And also visit our radio website at californiahauntsradio.com. That's where you can find all our videos. You can also find some of our stuff from Blog Talk Radio that I'm putting together. So you can check that out as well. And don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Again, we're looking for subscribers. We're doing really good on Facebook and getting people involved with the show. Let's keep pushing for YouTube. If you have paranormal issues and you'd like us to check them out, californiahaunts.org. Send me a message from there, or you can send me a message on Facebook, or you can send me a message from the radio show website as well. You see that ticker running along the bottom? That's because we don't make any money to do this or investigate or anything like that. It all comes out of my pocket. I'm the happy owner of all this, and I got to pay bills just like everybody else, like for the internet and other costs, and anything you could do to help me out would be great. It all goes back into producing the show. I mean, if a computer breaks, I have to whip out money for a camera or whatever. It's just one of those things. You could do that at paypal.me at California Haunts, or if you're uncomfortable with PayPal, we also have a Venmo account, and just type in California Haunts. But I want to thank you guys for coming, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you. I'm going to give you Nancy's contact information first, but I will see you on Sunday. So here's Nancy's contact information. Her website's nancymatz.com, nancymatzauthor.com, and she's also got a YouTube site. So it's youtube.com/Nancy Matz Psychic. Her book, Help, Get Me Out of This Funk by Nancy Matz. Book number 2, Two Worlds, Developing Your Psychic Skills. Book number 3, The Unwilling Sacrifice. Great book. And of course, they're available at Amazon.com. All right, guys, I will see you all Sunday. Have a good next couple days.